r/AskReddit. What are some study tips for high school students who are struggling and want to improve? When I'm trying to learn something, I pretend that I am teaching someone, and for some reason this helps write notes down. There's something about reading notes written down by yourself and it stays longer in your memory. Treat it like a job. Hit the books Monday through Friday the 9th of May. Work in the library, not your room or apartment. Don't miss a class. Work ahead during that 40 hours. This method worked wonders for me and I never had to stay up late trying to cram stuff. Focus on understanding instead of memorizing. The better you understand something, the easier it'll be for you to piece things together when needed. This is especially true in math-based studies. I typed the notes I took in class. Rewriting or typing information forces you to read your materials. Doesn't mean you'll necessarily pay attention the first time you reread it, but it is a refresher in your mind. Plus, you can organize your notes, add a sidebar to add quiz questions for yourself, and a bunch of other things to enhance study tips. I then go through those notes the night before a test on a 20-minute rotation for each subject I had to study, with a 5-minute break between each 20 minutes. I only kept materials in rotation until I felt confident. I was always one of the top test takers, 90% or above. Study in the library. The fact that you want to improve is the first step. I can't really give advice based on personal experiences because I never really studied for exams in high school, but studies show that learning in the evening and before sleep greatly improves your ability to memorize the content. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't study during the day at all. Another study shows that writing the content down again yourself and making good-looking notes help you memorize it a lot better as well. It's important to fully focus your brain on the studies. Turn off or put away any distractions like your phone, your PC or anything else. Set a time you have to focus on studying completely, followed by a break. For example, 1 hour of studying and then a 15-minute break. Also, having enough sleep before the exam helps you focus during it. The best thing the military ever taught me was how to learn. You need to figure out how you learn. I personally learn best by moving and experiencing. If I'm reading a textbook or manual, I try and walk around while doing it. If it's a physical thing, I do it over and over and over until it's some kind of mindless thing. If you're worried about failing, find ways to make yourself fail. You'll learn that failure isn't the end of the road. There's always another option. This goes for everything about studying, to life in general. Study, take the test. If you get a B instead of an A, but you know your weaker areas now and you know where to improve. If you get that A, great. Now keep studying. If you get an F, but now you know something didn't work, or that you have lots of things you get to learn now. The fact that you want to improve tells me you have the ability to do so. Do not study during nighttime, I mean after 9 PM. Work before distraction. Edit. Add scheduling makes success, not work or motivation alone. Work smart, not hard. All these mottos I am still trying to get a hold of. Study at the library or a coffee shop instead of at home. If you can afford it, get a cheap second laptop that is only for school. Do not install any programs other than what you need for your classes. Only use the laptop for school. Only do schoolwork on that laptop. These two things saved me. I learned from my experience that studying for hours doesn't mean anything if I'm not taking in stuff and really understanding things enough to the point I could explain it or describe it within some other example cases problems. So ideally finding the best way you learn, and then sticking to it. Do you like to rephrase things to understand it, or draw it out, or other visual aids? Maybe saying what you think is important out loud is the way to go. Many options, but sticking by one or a few that suits you best and gradually working out how to improve that process is probably a really efficient way to study than reading everything and then trying to memorizing things over and over again for a long period of time. Don't study in your bed. Go somewhere else to study. Desk, library, school, and don't be afraid to ask your teacher or academic counselor what they think you should do. Most teachers are always willing to help students who show they care. Place your phone in another room while studying. Don't procrastinate or take a break before doing your work. The second you get assigned homework, start it immediately after school. This one might be obvious, but it's something that helps me out. This is not exactly a study tip, but if you don't understand anything, no matter how stupid, never shy away from asking a teacher. Study in short bursts. I remember a psych prof in college saying it's been proven that after 20-30 minutes of studying, your brain starts to retain less and less information. So study for 20-30 minutes, take a quick 10-minute break, then go back to studying. Number 1 mistake I made in high school was assuming that my teachers were always good at dispensing content in an understandable way. There's so much variance. Depending on your teacher, plague your teacher with questions before or after class. They're, hopefully, there to help you take notes during class. Take a picture of the board if you need to. If your teacher goes off slideshows, get copies of each lecture, supplement your teacher's lectures with lectures from the internet. There's almost always someone online who's figured out a better way to divulge the info than your teacher. If your teacher is confusing or going too fast, let them know, maybe multiple times. They might not realize. Look into private tutoring. Maybe your school offers it, or your teacher would be willing to help, or something online. A good tutor analyzes what you know so they can teach at your level. Get enough sleep and eat right. Keep your brain running at high efficiency for efficient studying. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, share and subscribe for more.